Yo, Mark, I'll be right out. He can't hear me. The window's closed. The window's closed. The window's closed. Window is closed, who did we get? Nobody knows, I try to forget. Did we get that guy? Did we get the other? He spotted in London, a tweet from his mother would link with a guy out of our league, about to sign, just what we need. Old lady calls, Stu got no balls, our team is the laws, cue all the trolls.
You know you need somebody, anyone will do, but your club is run by children and they ain't got a clue. The window is closed. The travel window is closed. The window is closed. It's too
Every year it's the same, linked with the name, but it ain't true. Who gets the blame? Mad at your club, mad at the news, mad at the social, all about views. Got me to click, reading some shit, wasting my time, I'm through with this shit. I got no say, so what the hey? Turn my shit off to the end of the day.
You know you need somebody, anyone will do, but your club is run by children and they ain't got a clue. The window is closed. The travel window is closed. The window is closed. It's too
And that's it, everybody. The window is closed. Your hopes and dreams are done for. If you didn't get him, he's not on the team. You gotta play with the fucking hand that you dealt. Welcome back to the Stoop, everybody. It's your boy Lolo. I am here in the basement again, below the Stoop. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in the comments here. All the Stoop crew, I see you guys here. I hope you enjoyed my little music video. More of those to come. Why not? I made that in all about, I don't know. I came up with it last night before I went to bed, and I did it this morning. So, good to see you guys here. We're talking transfer window winners and losers. We'll talk about my club. We'll talk about Mark's club. We got a special guest going on. It's going to be fun. This show may be a little bit longer than our normal 30 minutes, so strap on in. Big shout to the All crew. All Vampires Are We. That's the UK crowd that are watching at 3 a.m. Love to see you guys. Riddy, I see you here. Ben, Arizona, Bondi, Stan the Man, BxGunner, Mr. Tom, all y'all. Who else? I saw Jimmy Bremer's Ghost is here. Everybody. Scott Newby was here earlier. Anders. Everybody. The one person we're missing. And I would not be doing this without you, my good friend. Get in here, Mr. Mark. Someone who may not be as depressed as most Arsenal fans.
Man, you Arsenal fans should be very depressed. You know? I mean, you were so depressed you made a little ballad.
I know. Remember, they were like, Lolo, why don't you make a poem for Arsenal? And I said, when I'm inspired by Arsenal, I will make something.
Well,
and
unfortunately, you'd be inspired for all the wrong reasons here.
Unfortunately, I felt like I was castrated. So, yes, I hit those high notes, Stan the Man. And Ray, good to see you as well, Arsenal Fan Circle channel. For all you Gunners out there, if you haven't already, subscribe to Arsenal Fan channel. Gary is in the comments section. And Gary happens to be also backstage. We'll be bringing him on momentarily. But Mark, overall, what are your sentiments about this transfer window for your club?
You know, like I said when it happened, I'm not even mad about Traore leaving. You know,
yep.
It's certainly, I think it's going to work out for us. I think we're going to get our 30 mil or our 29 mil or maybe even more. You know, it's affording us Hee-Chan. You know, because that's 14 mil. So I think the sway is nice. I'm happy. It wasn't exciting toward the end. I think with Wolves, it's always the same thing. It's always a lot of hot air and a lot of smoke, and in the end, she goes home with someone else.
Mark, you cannot talk that way to Arsenal fans. You even make the joke of anybody in the news. Oh, Arsenal's linked with them. Oh, Arsenal's linked with them. Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, I turned down Arsenal twice today.
It's like we are not a team based out of London. We are a team based out of New Mexico, where they do the hot air balloon frickin' festivals, the big sky festivals. Because listen, I'm not even. I've had some time to think about it, and as the day was going on, I had my hopes that we were going to be bringing in either Alexander Isak. I thought there was going to be a surprise Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I thought maybe Gini Wijnaldum. But then as the day progressed, and even last night, I was like, none of this is happening. None of this is happening. And you asked earlier, so what? Arteta flies out all the way to Denver, only to what? Pick up somebody from the fucking Rapids?
Pick up somebody from the Avalanche or whoever.
Yeah, from a hockey
I don't even
team
know.
or something.
I didn't even know Colorado had a fucking Major League Soccer team,
But no, I guarantee you what he went out there for was like, listen, we're not signing shit. You need to believe in me. And I just need you to know we're going to get a lot of fallout for this. But you need to continue to back me the way that you have been backing me, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to be okay. You have to believe that's what he was doing. So we'll never know. We'll never know. But overall, the biggest thing to me was recouping the loss of Aubameyang, because he was not going to play. He was not going to be reincorporated in the team. Even if he was, he is not at his best form right now.
I told you guys this
in this situation.
I had mentioned that at the beginning of January when he caught COVID partying in Dubai before he was supposed to join the team for the African Cup of Nations. And I was just like, yeah, he's never going to play, and he's never going to play for Arsenal ever again. It's just, but what does it say for Arsenal and dealing with these big egos, these superstars? You pay them a lot of money and then they fuck off. I mean, Ozil is another example of just, that the stage just isn't big enough for Arteta and this player, or that player.
Listen,
I don't know.
BX, good to see you. He says his job is not on the line. He's their project. He's there for the long run. He's perfect for the Cronkies. Absolutely, BX. We've been saying that the youngins are not the project, are not the process. Arteta is, and you can see the difference in the way the older players talk about Arteta versus the way the younger kids talk about Arteta. You hear Saka and Martinelli saying they have developed the most ever under Arteta. Now, this is also a formative time in their years where clearly they would have developed the most anyway.
Yeah, but see, that's just it. I mean, a 19-year-old is going to develop no matter what. One would hope. It's like someone that's like who's 24, 25 that gets shipped off to a team is like, all right, it's Traore. Traore is an example. He's 24, 25 years old. He was supposed to have been developed under Nuno and under Lage, but now he's going to be developed under, what's his name? Javi? I don't know. Who's the guy in Barcelona?
Yeah. Sorry. I was
you blanking out
comments and listening to you. No, we got a lot of Arsenal fans on here, so let's go ahead and bring in our special guest today, because he is an avid Arsenal fan as well. We do not completely agree on everything. We've been very friendly up until now, so I've still got mixed feelings. So I don't know which way I'm going. I'm too much of a Libra. So it's the same way I haven't been Arteta out, but I've never been Arteta in. I just don't feel like Arteta out is the right move.
Apparently the move is everyone but Arteta out. You guys shipped off like 6-7 players this month.
It sounds like you're doing the hokey pokey. You put your left leg in, left leg out. Come on.
We're still trying to figure out how to be Arsenal fans these days, because it is side before self. It should be club over anybody. And to me, that was the big thing with Aubameyang, which was, I said it. Go back in our fucking catalog, man, and check out the video where I said freaking Aubameyang is not our captain. He's not my captain. He is not a captain. And when something was going wrong, I don't care whose fault it is. The skipper's there, the manager is there to make the team happen. If there is one guy who is unhappy and he's gonna be bringing people down, and he's not performing, if he was performing, then there's a lot of like, okay, well, fuck it, he's the only one getting goals. Y'all should get goals, but we got to bring Gary in. Let's bring Gary in because Gary.
You know what? Just one second. I'm just gonna. I gotta refresh my Twitter window. Just 1 second. I gotta just make sure the window is closed. Just a second. I heard your song, but it was daylight when you said it. I'm checking again. I'm checking again. Yeah, it's closed. Damn, it's closed.
It is closed, Gary. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'll listen to you.
What are your overall thoughts now that the window's closed? We essentially brought in nobody. The people that we did bring in aren't going to be coming anyway.
Yep.
But we shipped out half the team. Is he just hoping to postpone every single match now because we have no players, or what's going on?
Well, you know what? There are levels to this thing. First off, Real Madrid their summer window includes Mbappe based on what they did today. Ours includes 2 Major League Soccer players, one of which probably will never play for Arsenal, based on some of the things I've heard. So that's what we did. I think we might have brought in a player for our academy, but no, nothing. This is a risky game. They're playing, but I have a feeling, like you said, it doesn't matter. They don't care. I don't think 8th place matters. I can see 8th place come and go, and Arteta will be here to start the next season, because I don't agree with this. Like, let's not do anything in this window when there is an opportunity for us to get some. One of the things I always say is you got to take advantage of things when they come in there. DWTT is actually what it stands for. Don't waste a trip. We have an opportunity now to complete our trip, maybe top 4. All we need is to fill, a couple of players, maybe to improve us, or at least increase the depth on the team, right? Right. We were in 4th. We've got opportunities with 1 game to be in 4th place, but we need to be able to make it through 17 games, unscathed, no injuries, no red cards, no 2 yellow cards in a game, no COVID, right? We need all of that to happen in 17 games, much less the 4 games that have not been scheduled, right, are 4 of the toughest games we've got on our schedule, meaning they're probably going to be midweek, right? So it doesn't, like, you're playing with fire, and Arteta won't get burned because they will be there to soothe him and move him on and say, don't worry about it. And we talked about ambition. Does a team have ambition and all of this, and accountability? And I think, like you said, they don't really right now. It's, they're probably looking out 3 years from now. Maybe they will have the Wenger of this century, right?
That's what they're hoping for. That's clearly the case. But I'm right there with you of okay, I was not overall upset that we didn't do some big money signing, because those are the things that can get managers sacked even quicker. Is when another Pepe comes in, what if we spent 70 million on Isak? What if we spent 50 million on Dominic Calvert-Lewin and they just didn't do it, or the
egos didn't jive with Arteta?
Yeah, the egos didn't.
Because that's really what I think is coming down to.
So if that happens, then fuck. Then we're in even worse shape. So they were sort of playing it safe by playing it super fucking dangerous. But I agree with you. Then why didn't we bring in a bunch of mid-level players that could act as backups? Why am I seeing all these players moving around to other clubs and I'm going, oh, he would have been nice. Oh, he would have been nice. Oh, he would have been nice. Like, yeah, they're not going to start. Yeah, they may not be part of the long run, but you're absolutely right. You cannot send out, what is it, 7, 8 players that left in the window? And we brought in, did we bring in one that's going to be here?
No. Both your signings are coming in July or something.
And you know what?
Just made no sense to me.
yeah. I mean, it's telling when the goalkeeper that you basically set up for the summer has a good game when his name was mentioned, and then the next game, did you see what happened in the next game?
2-0 to Canada.
And both times it was off of a goal kick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
not all his fault, but it just
he spilled one right before that when they were already down 1-0. He spilled one, and then just him and the guy with the ball, and he kicks it straight at him, and he blocks that one. So, listen. Here's the thing. Here's the gamble, and as Stan the Man just says it right here, this is a huge gamble. Mikel has basically pushed all of his chips into the middle of the table. We're all in. We are absolutely all in on this young squad. But here's the thing. If Arteta manages, and not Arteta, if Arteta and the team manage somehow to finish in 4th, fuck it, even 6th or above, he goes into like near legendary status already. That's winning the fucking league. And I feel like that's what he wants. And that's what he's going, like, wouldn't it be awesome if we did it with these? Because we can. Right now, our squad, the squad that we have, that started nearly 5 games in a row with the same exact people on the pitch, I feel that squad can beat most teams in the league. Fuck, we almost beat City until we completely collapsed and fucking lost.
Yeah, but what did they say about almost?
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So...
And you know what? We got teased by that. Remember when we got teased by that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That first half against the Wolves? That was a teaser, just like what we saw against City. That first half, if we should have been leading.
It was like, was it a whole half? Because I thought it was like 20
Okay, you know what? It was. You're right. It was
card.
2 minutes into 2 minutes into extra time is when it went downhill. But for 45 minutes, that was what we saw in that City game where you're like, huh, if we can do this again, like, can we do this for another 45 and maybe 90 after that and maybe 90 after that, then we've got something. You know, there's a blueprint. We see it works. Can we do it again? And guess what? I don't think we ever saw that again. You know, once that red card happened, basically we never saw that again. And since we've played that City game, we've seen us play okay against Liverpool, you know, get the draw. But will we see those same 11 players play like we did against City? Because we should be able to beat teams easily if we play like that. Because if we can do that to City, then we can definitely do that to other teams and get better results out of it. But I'm not sure.
But the problem is not talent. You know, the problem isn't talent; it's attitude. You know, it's the fact that you can let another team get under your skin and knock you off your game plan, and it all falls to shit. And that's Arsenal in a nutshell right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pros and cons of having a young squad, a very, very young squad. But if you look at it, who had their best fucking game of their Arsenal career against City was Thomas Partey. We haven't seen him play the way that we saw him play at Atletico Madrid. He had his best game, left to Africa, came back, had his worst 5 minutes I've ever seen. And so I'm like, wait, which one are we getting? But even Sambi Lokanga, talented player. We have not seen what I know he can bring. he needs to step up his game. This is not the Eredivisie or whatever. But the dude has talent. The dude has skill. But who's he learning from? He's learning from fucking Shaka, who's there every other week, because he has every 3 weeks he plays. Like, so some way Sambi's like, oh, I love Shaka because I get to play more because he fucks things up. But honestly, I feel like El Nene is going to be a huge part of our team this season. I feel like Pepe needs to be a bigger part of the season, and he will have to be.
Will we get?
Because
We
people are
get?
going to get injured.
Can we get?
Martinelli is made out of glass.
Yeah.
Remember.
Can we get Afcon Pepe? Did we actually get Afcon Pepe? Is he the one that was on the plane? Because
I don't know.
Arsenal Pepe that went over, that wasn't the guy.
No.
I want Afcon Pepe. Hopefully he's in Dubai and he makes it to London. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Hopefully he got a taste of the winning ways back. He can earn his spot back. But honestly, he doesn't start over Saka.
And that's the problem. He should.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, I almost agree.
No, I understand he
agree with
doesn't. But the problem is he should. I mean, it should. I mean, Pep. You know what? We always talk about this, right? All these guys like Saka, Milshoff Rowe, and Ødegaard, are they ready for Premier League football? They don't. They shouldn't have to be, but they are being asked to do that. Yeah. I mean, Pepe. Pepe should be showing these guys. Yeah, Pepe should be showing these guys. Here's how you play the wing. You know, because he's got the skills. We see it every once in a while, and then he shows us a little glimpse of it, and then he pulls it back, and you're like, wait a second, what are you doing? Show me that 100% of the time. Show me be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive. You are better than the player in front of you. Do it, you know, because we see Saka do it, and you're like, you see Martinelli do it on the other end. I mean, if they could put the ball in the goal when they do that, or have a striker in the box with them when they make that turn, it'd be nice. But, you know, all these things we're asking, I guess, too much from this team right now. But
yeah.
But no,
I just hope for the sake of Arsenal, you guys don't get like a major injury.
No.
It would be
it's gonna happen.
Pretty.
It's gonna happen.
You know, I mean, can you imagine if you lost Lacazette for the season?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well,
no, that's not good.
That may actually be a blessing in disguise, because that would force Martinelli into the middle, where people have been saying Martinelli is the future striker of Arsenal.
Yeah.
So fucking put him up front.
You know what? And that's the thing.
Right.
Arteta keeps failing upwards, right?
Yeah.
Every time you think he's going to fail, he succeeds, right? Right? It happened last season, right? We go through a November, December that was terrible. All right, so what do we have to do? Oh, guess what? Aubameyang's not going to be able to play. Lacazette's not going to be able to play. Or, you know what? Martinelli comes in. Emile Smith-Rowe comes in. Next season, you know, we're on a run. Here we go again. This looks really bad. Ominous. We haven't won a game in a month. We've scored one goal in a month.
I was in Spain watching the FA Cup final, Arsenal-Chelsea, sitting at my father-in-law's little farm, watching with Lawler on his cell phone, and we're sitting there like around at the little outdoor picnic table, just like watching like this, getting demolished. Christian Pulisic demolishing us by himself. He went down and I went, fuck, Arteta's in for 4 more years. Like this just showed me like there was a recount, 4 more years. Fuck. Because as much as I wanted us to win the cup, I saw us, okay, we get demolished. Arteta's gone. We have all summer. We get somebody new. There we go. And me and John were both just like, yay, fuck. Like, I don't know. I just knew in that moment, like, but guys, we've been going on about Arsenal for so long, and I do want to talk about some other clubs. I just want one last quick Arsenal housekeeping. And I've been seeing so much on Twitter about fuck Arteta for the way he treated Aubameyang. Fuck Arteta. The way he treated Aubameyang was disgraceful, this and that and the other. And to me, I'm like, I don't feel that way at all. I love Aubameyang as a player. I loved him at Dortmund. When we were linked with him, I was like, no fucking way. How can we possibly get Aubameyang? And we got him, and he was fucking brilliant for a little while. But something changed. And let me ask you, what other player goes 18 months missing fucking sitters who is given the captain's armband and does not lead on the pitch? Shit happens on the pitch and he walks away. What other player do you say? Every fucking Arsenal fan would be screaming for his head. Get rid of him. The Arsenal. It's the Arsenal. Get him out of here. Club. Who is this fucker? He doesn't deserve to be on the pitch. Then he doesn't show up on time for the North London fucking derby. I was 2 hours early to the fucking bar. Then he does that shit again. And I'm sorry, that was the first time I appreciated Mikel Arteta, was that North London derby, where I went, you know what? Even if we lose this game, it's on you, son. It's on you, captain. So this, how dare you? You don't treat a player like that? Fuck you. You don't treat my club like that, captain. So as much as I love Aubameyang, this has been just absolutely annoying the shit out of me that everybody's like, the way he was treated. He's a fucking 100 millionaire. He was late driving a Lamborghini. Fuck off. Sorry. How do you guys feel about that?
You know, if it's a case of where, if it's true that Arteta mistreated Alba, it would be very unfortunate that this is how he reacted, by going, oh yeah, well, I'm going to shit on you twice as hard. You know, it seems like it does seem like there's possible, like, kind of a retaliation on Aubameyang's part as far as his behavior, because to me it didn't make a lick of sense. But I didn't really see that, because I feel, even in the short time that I've been watching Arsenal on the regular, that he's had his opportunities, Aubameyang, and he fucked up, and he got ridden out on a rail, you know.
And that was the first time I was like, oh wait, we have, like, that was something we were laughing about about Frank Lampard not being able to manage all the stars on his team, and actually Arteta was like, I'm trying to build something here. Nobody knows what the fuck that is, but I'm trying to build something here. You can't be walking around with this armband acting like this. So right. I'm sorry, you're going to sit. He was there, but he sat.
Yeah, when they sat him this year, I just said to myself, I said to myself, and then out loud, it was just like, he's done. He's done. Yeah. When that happened, What was that, back in November?
Yeah.
November, October?
That was last, that was...
not the first suspension, but the second one.
For
when he went to Spain. When he went to Spain, he'd show him on Twitter with the...
I'm losing track, Mark. We watch too much football.
Yeah, no,
I think it was like late October, early November is when all this went down, and then he gets stripped. But it was when he was suspended, before the captaincy was stripped from. I said, he's done.
If you're the fucking captain and you get benched for being late, do you not do everything in your goddamn power to show everybody else? My bad, I fucked up. But listen, I'm gonna. And once again, if you're scoring goals, this shit doesn't matter, right?
True,
if you're scoring goals, this shit doesn't matter.
I'm of two thoughts. I'm of two thoughts, and they kind of go back and forth with it. One is, as soon as he signed a contract, I feel like Arteta changed what he wanted to do with Aubameyang, and in regards to what he wanted out of his strikers. So that was the first thing that for me, and that didn't make any sense, because you don't sign a player up for that much money and then go, you know what, the things that you did well before, you're going to have to do something totally different. I'm going to ask more of you, which sounded for me, the more I think about it now I'm like, maybe that was okay for him to ask him to do that. But when you find out it doesn't work, eventually you're going to have to either cater to your star who I don't know if he's still a striker anymore. He's still a goal scorer anymore. But I kind of felt like if he was, we lost that window now. It's gone. That window's gone. What he requires of his strikers is different, totally different now. Arteta hasn't bought in, right? And that's what you need. A young manager will need all the players to buy in. I mean, you see, and like you say, we talk about the leadership. When has any player did something silly on the pitch and then basically owned up to it? Like, I always go back to like the Liverpool game where he gives up the free kick, they score on the on that free kick, and then the game's over. I don't think he said my bad, because he didn't need to come back and draw that free kick, but he did. A lot of I feel like we're missing that from the team in general. I mean, everybody and all the leaders.
That example that you just asked,
yeah.
Xhaka is the only one who told the fans to fuck off, and then actually apologized to it months later.
Yeah,
and tried to work his way back in with the fans.
Yeah.
But he's done so many fucking things that he hasn't apologized for.
No, that's true.
But you asked, do we have anyone? And BX is asking, do we actually have a player that shows up early and leaves later than everyone else? To me, like, I think football, NFL football, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. Drew Brees was always the first one there, was always the last one to leave. Before the game, was going through his drills by himself until people came out. That's my fucking captain.
Yeah. I don't know if we have that player. I don't even know if we have that player in the squad right now. And I don't know. We need leaders, and I still don't even think we have leaders. We always talked about Tierney being the leader, and I don't feel like he is being the leader that I want him to be, the fiery guy. Like I want the guy. Like I said, I want the guy from the Leeds game. At the end of the Leeds game, that's what I want. I want that fire, maybe a little bit more controlled, but I want that fire. We don't have that. I want the guy that led, the Tierney back home when he led his teams at a young age, right? I have a feeling the way he led there and the way he's leading now is a little bit different, and maybe he's handcuffed a little bit by Arteta as far as not, stepping on the toes of the leadership group or whatever that he has, which I kind of find ridiculous. That's it. Like his leadership group is the one that's failing him. Right, outside of our Lacazette, who doesn't have some of the skills that you have from Aubameyang, and I think for me, everybody looks up to Xhaka as much as I don't care for him as much. For some reason, that his teammates do, I feel, but he lets down the team. He lets down Arteta as well, but we never hear that. We hear about all the other players, but not as much from him. But I kind of feel like, at some point, it's staring you in the face. Just go with it. We need that leadership, but it's I know we wanted to move on, but that's kind of my thoughts on that whole thing there. I kind of feel like the way he's treated Aubameyang, Aubameyang had to buy in, and he never did. And then this is where we stand. Like I look at a Milner from Liverpool. How old is he? That guy's like 35, 36. Still performs, still delivers. Be it for 20 minutes, 45, 90, doesn't matter. He gives them something. And that's what we wanted. We want to play like that from a
See, I'm a little confused on that, when you say that, because in my mind, the minute Aubameyang put his name on that piece of paper that paid him all that money, that should have been him buying in. We're rewarding you.
I hear you.
That's when he should have been able to buy in then. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Everybody, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say anybody who's, talked about Aubameyang and had questions about him joining will say this is Aubameyang. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say this is the way it ended at Borussia Dortmund, and it's ended at at Arsenal the same way.
Yeah. And I guarantee you he's going to go and score a bunch of goals for Barcelona. He's going to be perfectly fine.
And Adama Torre is going to put an assist.
20 assists,
like
in half a season.
Traore's going to put up.
He's going to get that $30 million and then do fuck all next season. Both of them, fuck all next season.
Traore is going to like blast a cross over to Aubameyang, and it's just going to like take his shoulder off. You know, he's just going to like, he's like, you know,
look at all these tiny Spanish dudes.
Player gets decapitated by a cross coming in, and then it's like, what?
Like,
yes.
It's like the biggest guy here is 6 foot. The fuck? Anyway, guys, as I said, we are going to go a little bit over 30 minutes today, and our first segment went 35. So before we move on to our second segment, we cannot forget to thank the sponsors. So thank you guys, all the sponsors, especially to Mr. Tom's Betting in the Dark. That is our number one sponsor here. And we also have a mystery sponsor. And it's Monday, so I'm looking forward to Monday's mystery sponsor. John, who is our mystery sponsor today? It's the Monday Book Club. You were wondering why I said I'm excited because it's Monday, but Mondays, if you didn't realize, are sponsored by the On the Stoop with Lolo's Monday Book Club. If you haven't signed up, you need to sign up because our book club can outdrink your book club. So what is our book of the week that is sponsoring? In honor of the January transfer window, On the Stoop Book Club recommended You Win in the Locker Room First, The 7 C's to Building a Winning Team in Business, Sports, and Life. That's not as humorous as I thought it would be, but let's read the 7 C's. The 7 C's, cash, corruption, crypto, creeps, crazy, clowns, and Bielsa for some reason. The only one that makes sense in tiny, tiny letters down there. So there you go, all you Leeds United fans who are like, wait, is this an Arsenal show? In the 7 C's of winning the locker room, Bielsa is the 7th C. Order now, our librarians are standing by. Thank you so much for the Monday Book Club. Don't forget to sign up. Go to www.onthestoopwithlolo.com/MondayBookClub.gov and type in the promo code onthestoopwithlolo.com Monday Book Club, and we won't know what you're talking about. All right, guys, moving on. Let's go to our actual topic, which is winners and losers. Let me ask you guys, did Donny Van de Beek win? Did he finally win something? He might get to play, guys. Donny Van de Beek might get to play.
I
can't wait for him to get benched by Lampard.
I couldn't help but to think that he made the wrong choice.
Of Palace?
You know?
Me too. Yeah.
I thought him going to Palace would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
For all parties, with the
not
exception
us.
of United.
Not
yeah,
any
exactly.
Of us.
Right. But like, you know, for Palace, for Van der Beek, but he went. It's like I thought for a second, it's like, well, you know, he went to go play for Lampard. You know, he watched Lampard play as a kid, and he wanted to go play with Lampard. But then I was just like, but it's Vieira at Palace. When he also saw him, he also saw him play. You know, I don't know, but yeah. Donnie's definitely a winner. He definitely gets out of the out of the dungeon that is Manchester United.
But then they signed Dele Alli at the last minute, so Donnie's going, wait, what? That's the position I play. So now
is it
Everton? I don't know. Pretty much.
I thought Dele Alli played more on the wing, and you know,
Dele Alli Van
de Beek was more of a
Van de Beek play the exact same position. It's right over there by the managers and the kit man. They sit over there and they play that same role. Yeah. Where did Everton get all this money, by the way? You're absolutely right, Matthew Bird. $40 million for Dele Alli? I feel like you could have given him.
But he has, you know what that is? You know what that is? Yeah, you know what that is? That's if you know, that's the Ricky Williams contract. He has to be one of the best players at his position, and he's never going to get to play.
And if
so he's going to fuck off and smoke weed on an island.
And if he doesn't play 20 games, it's all nil. He has to play a minimum of 20 matches you know, before it kicks in, you know, any of the incentives, you know, they're getting him for practically free this season.
For 10,
You know,
please. Morton says they paid 10 for Ali. But you know what, guys? When are we going to start this? You know what they should do is like, hey, we're going to sign you to $30 million for 2 years. That's yours, unless you don't hit these numbers. If you don't hit those numbers, you owe us $15 million a year. And, you know, we'll prorate it. So if you need to score 10 goals and 5 assists every season, 10 goals, 5 assists, you know, 15 million, that's 1.5 million per goal. If you don't hit that, you owe us that money so we can recoup it on your lazy ass, right? Mm-hmm. Then Aubameyang would be paying us and we'd be going, oh, how poorly he was treated. No, the motherfucker owes us money.
You got rid of that salary. He did pay you.
Yeah, we paid money for him. Yeah, the salary was
the
our
18
own
months. The 18 months that he got paid, we're not getting that back.
No, and the dignity that you lost as well. That's gone forever.
So,
but yeah. Right, like, come on. You're supposed to score 20 goals a season. You scored 2. You owe us $18 million.
You know what's crazy? He actually has 4. He actually has 4 goals in Premier League, and Nketiah and Lacazette have 3.
Each or total?
3. That's it. Total. So he hasn't played for like a month and a half or 2 months, whatever it is, and he still has more goals. So, you know,
I think Gabriel is close to that. Gabriel has 2, right? And he hasn't had any in his whole career, but he's got 2. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I think you know what?
Let's just say Manscaped missed a trick by not sponsoring Delhi. It was a jungle down there, if I recall.
Ooh.
I missed that one.
Nah.
Wasn't around for that one.
You guys were talking about the winner, so like, you know, a lot of teams did a lot of business.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Newcastle, Everton, even Liverpool.
Newcastle's my winner.
Even Liverpool did some business, right? I mean, Liverpool pulled in 2 players, which will help them. You know, right?
Quality signings for them.
Yeah, you know,
and then the last minute too. Although one fell through at the last.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. That one did fall through.
Like, they dropped the pen as they were giving it to them. I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, I guess the only one that do any of those deals bother us? None, right? I mean, we should be, as long as we're healthy, we're going to be better than Everton, and Newcastle's too far away to make a difference, and that's it, really. Liverpool, we're chasing.
What other team has a process, bro? What other team has a process they can trust the way that we can? Like, we're way ahead in. Like Gary thinking, he's like, wait, what's the process?
What? Yeah, what is he talking? What is that? What do you mean?
And Rangers got Aaron Ramsey. Oh, I totally thought it was going to be like, sorry, guys, we're not getting any striker. I'm coming home from Dubai with Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey. We're going to get Iwobi back. Giroud's up for grabs. We're going to be bringing in everybody. But I got to say, Newcastle we knew they were going to do some business, right? Yep. But then, you know, didn't they get Matt Target?
They got Matt Target.
Got Matt Target. Got Dunk.
No. They got Dan Burn.
Just got Dunk. Dan Burn.
Dan Burn. They got Burn, Wood, Trippier, and
Bruno.
Look. We all knew they were gonna spend. That was a no-brainer. They were going to spend in January, but I really feel that it was money well spent and that they got it right.
Yeah, they didn't waste. Like, none of those players you can say, you know what, they're not either better or going to help them in the long term, even if they're not starters in the future. But it doesn't really. They got to have depth at the least, right? I think Bruno is potentially could be a starter for them. But the other players we've played, you know, I know from seeing them play against Arsenal, I'm like, ooh, you know, Wood scored against us, you know, with his hip, so he can score with any body part. And Dan Burns was really solid against us, I think, when he played. He had a really good
Were
game.
you guys-
which yeah.
Were you guys surprised by that? I was surprised by Dan Byrne. That just appeared out of nowhere.
That wouldn't be a name I thought anybody would be after. So that's probably.
And I'm really surprised that Brighton let him go.
Yeah, I don't feel. I feel like I haven't been hearing his name that much. To be honest, I thought they signed Ken Burns to do their documentary because they have that Ken Burns money.
You see that Ivan Toney?
Ivan Toney, geez. No, when I saw that video come out, I was like, sweet, he's coming to Arsenal. Let's do it. Let's do it. You sound like you got the right attitude to join this squad. Let's do it. But I want to take this comment from Please Morton, who says they spent their money on journeymen, definitely not winning. Here's where I think you're wrong there. They don't need lifers right now. They need journeymen who can step into any team and play right away. Yes, they're not going to last forever, but all they need to do is stay up. Remember, all they need to do is stay up. So
that's the goal.
I think that's exactly what they did. And could they have gotten better players? Absolutely, but I feel like they strengthened in a lot of spots they needed to strengthen. I thought they were going to get Leno from us, and that could have been a clincher because he makes a save every game that turns a loss into a draw into a win for them. I don't think Dubravka is as good as Leno. So
no, I thought Arsenal would do that deal just because then that would mean there's more money in the kitty to go out and use it for fixing other parts of the field, but we didn't do that either. And I get it, but yeah. I mean, I think Leno's worth a lot more than he was.
Oh, I agree with you. I do not like Leno. I didn't like him in Mark. Don't get me started on Emi Martinez. I know you didn't put that comment in there, but Mark's like, oh God, here we go, Emi Martinez again. I thought Emi Martinez, all the people. Leno is a very, very good keeper. He does not do what we need him to do, which is to play from the back. That is his worst trait as a keeper. So he won't start over Ramsdale because Arteta wants to play from the back. And Ramsdale plays some fucking passes where I'm like I'm hitting those high notes, if you know what I mean. Like, ooh. But if you've heard him talk and if you've seen him on like those podcasts and shit, and he talks about it, he's like, we do those in practice where I wait a split second longer than I would in a match to see if I can get it out. So that way in a match, I'm even more comfortable when I do it on time, but I know if I wait a split second, I can get it to this guy instead of this guy, things like that. But Ramsdale, I like Ramsdale for what we're trying to do. And I feel like Ramsdale is more of an Emi Martinez style keeper, which is like, why sell? Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
No, I mean, I think Ramsdale, his footwork is a lot better than Emi. And for those who know me from Arsenal fan circle, I did not bring up Emi. I'm going to blame it on whoever else put that in the chat. We had
Nobody
that one.
Did. I brought it up. I'll bring him up any chance I fucking get.
We go back and forth on that one, but I think Ramsdale is better. But here's my thing always. All right, you've got a Leno. Did you need to improve on a Leno at that time?
Because he would not stop playing from the back, even though Leno playing from the back was fucking suspect. Yeah. I mean, but we do remember that he ran out of the box and caught a ball with his hands. We remember that, right?
Yeah, the defense.
For what?
But the defense is top.
You're not a wide receiver.
The defense was top 5 with Leno, so we weren't going to get much better there. Midfield, poor. Striker, poor. Where did we fix? Defense. And that's kind of my thing.
Our best player was Kieran Tierney. So what did we spend money on? A backup for Kieran Tierney.
For Partey, same thing, right? We bought our backup for Partey. So, I understand. Yes, we need to do that, but you got to tell me there's other priorities that are higher. So, that's me.
I still think with Arsenal, with all the trouble in the midfield, Arteta's like, if it gets bad enough, I'm always wearing my kid under here. Like I can come do it.
How many games did he play for Arsenal? Because I hear this talk all the time. He played 16 games?
Yeah, all the Arsenal legend. I'm like, guys, if anything, he's an Everton legend. Like, and not even really that. Like, come on. But guys, we're back on Arsenal somehow. That's what I get for
what is Stan not like me? I see Stan's comment in there. What? What is going on, Stan? I thought you were my friend.
Hey, Stan, I've invited you on this show. So let's go. Let me ask you guys, Aston Villa. Is Aston Villa concerning you guys right now? Because we're all kind of mid-table teams these days, unfortunately. Aston Villa, I feel like they haven't hit their heights. They got rid of Target. I thought that was odd because I like him a lot. But they seem to improve their squad a little bit as well. Are you guys concerned with Aston Villa?
Oof.
I like the moves. I like the moves that they did. Are they going to?
Yeah. No, I think.
Maybe. I don't know. They have a BxGunner is correct there. They have a proper manager. I just I don't really know. We'll see. I mean, chemistry is a big thing. When you add these many players, as Everton did, as Villa did, as Newcastle did, there's a chemistry. There's is everybody going to jive together? That was the whole thing last year. It ended up getting Lampard fired from Chelsea. All those additions last year didn't add up very well, and Tuchel had to come in. He made some sense of it, but it's starting to fall apart. So who's to say?
I hope we don't have to be too concerned about a team that's 10 points behind us. So if Villa 10 point behind us, if we're concerned about them,
right,
then I think we're really in trouble if that's the case, right? I mean, we have to be more concerned about chasing Chelsea. That should be our goal. And if we fail and we get fourth place, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Right. Like I always think you should set your goals high, and then if you fail up, right? As what is that? I think there's a saying here. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon. You got out of the atmosphere at least, right? So we need to go as high as we can, and then if we settle, we have to settle. We'll settle for something better than worst case. So I think that's where I'm at. What happened? What'd I do?
Gary's getting all philosophical on us.
I was going to say, I thought I was the perpetual hopeful, the hopeful romantic here. I'm like, wait, we fail and get in fourth, Gary? What?
That's where I'm going.
You're checking Twitter. You're like, oh wait, last minute signing, we signed Pele.
No, but think about it. Think about it.
Too much for him.
With the three games we have in hand, I think, or behind Chelsea. We are. Is it three or is it? I thought it was three.
I think it's just two.
I thought it was.
It's
three.
two.
No, it's three games. 3 games. Yeah,
it is three.
So Chelsea's 3 games behind them. Yeah, and we still have to play them. Whatever we do against them could be a positive, and they're struggling.
Yeah, but those aren't going to be easy. That's not an easy 3 games.
I'm not looking at those ones. I'm not looking at those ones. The Chelseas and Liverpools and the Wolves and the Spurs. Or actually, did I say Spurs? I'm sorry, that team, because I don't usually say their name. But who counts those? We're not counting those.
No, I'm concerned. I'm concerned with playing Wolves. That's our next match, and I'm concerned with that because if we couldn't score against Burnley, when you have next to zero threat of them actually scoring against you, and we still couldn't score, Wolves can actually score against you. So.
We have 5 games in 2 months.
We are starting to score.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. We have 5 games in 2 months right now, as far as the schedule is concerned. We have to win them all. We have to win them all. We have enough time to plan for each one of them, and we have to believe that we are the better squad going out there. But they won't be easy. But we should be. We have to win. Though we have no choice, because it only gets worse once they start rescheduling those games.
Yeah. All right, fellas, how do you guys feel about Christian Eriksen coming back to the Premier League? Is it too soon? What is it?
Don't like it.
Is it weird? He
like
got to
it.
move to Brentford.
Don't like it.
Why not?
Don't like it, and I cannot believe look, man, he had a heart attack on the pitch 9 months ago. I just don't understand that. Like, he has a defibrillator now, right? He has a what do they call it? A pacemaker. He has a pacemaker, right? He had one inserted into his body. That's not a well man, I don't, modern medicine is modern medicine and everything like that. His wife watched him have a heart attack on the pitch. I don't think it's safe. I don't think he's doing the right thing. And I don't think he lasts the season. Not that he's going to fall over dead again, but I think he's going to end up with some sort of heart murmur or some sort of thing. Some test is going to go wrong, and he's not going to finish the season. That's my thoughts on it.
Gary,
I don't know. To Mark's point, I think he got a sign as to whether or not to continue. Right?
Sure.
Sometimes,
sure.
I think he got a sign, and sometimes it's like, okay, time to say goodbye. I mean, the way that football stood up and was like, you know what? Wow. I hope he just comes back healthy. That's all. We don't need to worry about the football part of this anymore.
Exactly.
Just make sure he's okay. All right. And then he's going to go out there and play again. I think that's, like you said, it's a little bit, I mean, the boss signed off on this, right? The wife signed off on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He
did have to pass a medical. He did have to do that. And if anything, he's got a defibrillator now. So if it happens again, you can kind of restart it a lot easier than you did the first time.
It's still risky, and it's like, is he? If he was going to go to Liverpool or City, I would say okay, maybe, because what's he chasing now? What is he chasing with this move?
Playing
but
time. He wants to play again.
He wants to play again, because that's not how he wants. Nobody wants to go out like that. Nobody wants to have their career end that way, because that's how you're known. You're known on how your career ends. We lament the players that just hung on too long, and they spent 12 years of their life with at one club, and then they end up going somewhere else, and then
look at Aguero.
You watch the player deteriorate and not be the player that they once were, and it's super sad, And I'm sure that's how Christian Eriksen is looking at it. He's like, I don't want to go out I want to go out on a little higher note,
but what does he win this season? The question is, the victory for Brentford is not being relegated. So when, as somebody just put it, when Prime Eriksen was top 3 cams in the world when he was at his best, absolutely, and that's why he got bought off of that terrible team to go, and I think Inter, right, who spent a shit ton of money to pull him away. And so for him, he's got to be going, look, I can still play. I can still do this. I can still. So I don't know. It's tough.
I mean, he's going to be one inspiration, and two, maybe actually will help some of those players along, and that's another thing. That some teams are lacking. Like they're not. He's been there, right? Mm-hmm. He's been in the Premier League, and he's so at the least you're going to get that from him. And that's probably all. That might be all you need sometimes. But he might, like you said, he might just want to be able to go play a game of football, and then walk off the pitch.
Yeah.
Not get pushed off the pitch on a stretcher. So that's another thing. I mean, I mean, for those in the States, there's a football player from Rutgers, right? He got hit on a play, never got up again, and said that's the one thing he wants to be able to do, is lay down on that spot and get back up. And so the inspiration there will be for that team. I think if he brings any of that to the squad, that would be really good for them. And if he helps out their cams, that would be even better for them. And if he gets to play, that's a third. He's got lots of different things, lots of different milestones he can give to that team. Yeah. They are kind of struggling a little bit now, right? So anything, I mean, his name is, like you said, he's been one of the best players at his position at one point in his career. So you want that on your squad if you can get it. You never,
And World Cup, guys, he wants to be back on the squad for the World Cup, definitely. Yeah. He wants to show that he can put in a shift, play 10, 15 matches, and still be fit and still survive. So
it's crazy. It's crazy, but those athletes are crazy. They don't put themselves through all of that for if they're sane.
One of the last things that I wanted to talk about, this one weird thing that hit me, and this is one of those situations where I was like, okay, Arsenal, you're not going to go out and splash the cash and try and save everything with one player. So why not get some of these other players? And this was one that baffled me. Todd Cantwell went to Bournemouth. Last season, everyone was in. I felt like lots of teams were in for Cantwell. You guys know Cantwell from Norwich? Blonde dude who wears the Jack Grealish little thing. Very talented player. I think Leeds United were in for him. I thought multiple other clubs were in for him. He's like, oh, we're going to be relegated either. So I feel like he's hedging his bets. He leaves Norwich to go to Bournemouth, who's looking to be promoted. So he'll be. That just shocked me. Of wait, Cantwell would be a good addition to lots of teams. Crystal Palace is looking for what's his name for Donny Van de Beek. Didn't get him. To me, he's a Conor Gallagher style player.
When Arsenal played,
why wouldn't we just grab him? Let me look. How much did he fucking go?
Yeah, I was gonna say when Arsenal played Norwich,
it was cheap. It was like season, 10, 12.
Yeah.
You don't think he would come to Arsenal for 15? Like, the dude is worth 15. I don't know. It just, that shocked me when I saw that.
What position does he play in the midfield?
Cantwell's also, that's just a loan, though. 10 mil.
Either way, Norwich, I don't know. Well, that just shocked me.
So, okay, if he went on a transfer, it would make sense, but he goes on a loan, so make it make sense for me?
That doesn't make sense. It absolutely doesn't make sense. I don't think Leeds United got anybody, guys. Sorry about that.
They got nobody.
Bielsa said we have the players that we need to stay up.
And they're all injured.
And just like all you guys watching us in the UK, we're the players to keep you guys up. See, we're just going to keep dragging it out, and you guys are going to hope that we talk about Leeds United, but you guys did nothing. But I feel like you're in a better position than Arsenal, so we bitch about Arsenal. That's what we do. We let Mark talk about Wolves for 2 minutes.
Yeah, about once a season.
Well, if he fights hard enough, he can steal it. He can pull us over. But to me, that one shocked me. Cantwell could have gone to a number of teams in the Premier League.
Yeah, when we played Norwich when they went down, if I recall in that game, I believe he played okay, and it would look like, you know what, that might be a play for us to pick up if it's not Aaron's on the edge there, but Cantwell might be another player that we can pull from them if they're going to play down. So yeah, I don't. So it's a strange one. I don't understand that one. That one seems kind of weird, and hopefully there's an explanation for it that makes sense to someone. Then they can tell us what that means when a player does that. Because Norwich is actually out of relegation zone now, right? I mean, so it's not
Wow. I mean,
like there's nothing.
but not
Then
by much. I mean, it's like 1 point.
and Burnley has like
that's correct.
15 games in hand.
Yeah, Burnley wins the. Well, they have to win 2, and then they will have jumped them. But yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, So maybe he's got money on either City or Norwich City or Bournemouth, or
Bournemouth.
Maybe he's got money. Somebody's got money on it or something.
I don't know, man. But I mean, Bournemouth had a pretty strong January window, didn't they?
I don't know enough about. I mean, they got a fucking Premier League player that other Premier League teams have been after. So yeah, I suppose they did. Anyway, I think that's about it for the day, guys. We've gone much longer than we usually do on our late night shows, but it's been a lot of fun. Winners and losers. So overall, guys, if you had to pick a club that you think won the transfer window and a team that lost the transfer window, who do you think it would be? And everybody in the comments section, please put your comments in there as well and let us know who you think won the transfer window and who you think lost the transfer window. Leeds United, Arizona. Mark, do you have anybody?
Well, I mean, we talked about Newcastle. I think Newcastle won. I think they're definitely winners. Not to continue to turn this into an Arsenal show, but I really feel Arsenal is one of the big losers of the January window by being completely inactive other than jettisoning players this season. You guys got rid of a lot of depth and did nothing with it except for have your owner say, take this guy, but don't take him. Just, I don't know what we're going to do. He's going to stay here, but we're just so we can say something in the news that Arsenal signed somebody.
They're like,
you're going to have this guy trusty.
He's a goaltender for our hockey team, right? And you're like, yeah, but he's cool. He can stay here on loan. We'll get him in the summer.
Yeah, I don't. So that's I'm very sorry to say, but I feel Arsenal really they blew it. They blew it.
Yeah. No,
Gary?
I think Newcastle, because of the number of players that they brought in, they all seem to. They will, I feel, help them keep up for sure, and maybe even allow them to compete a little bit with that middle of the or that that mid, that 12 to 15 range teams, maybe keep them in that range. So I think they did well. For me, it's like Arsenal, and I would have thought that team, I don't like to say their name, also may have done something in the window, and they both did not do enough. Arsenal, if Arsenal did nothing, I think I would be okay. I would have been okay with it based on the way I feel right now. Because that would mean, all right, well, they're going to stay with what they got. They feel they're comfortable with their players. They've got, Maitland-Niles, and they've got Chambers still on the squad, so we know that they will compete. But then when you let them go, you don't bring anything in. It's like, wait a second. So you've weakened your team even more now. And everybody says, well, they don't play that many minutes. Well, they might, and that's the risk you take. It's not like if we didn't have COVID, they'd probably say, okay, maybe I can see that. But the fact that you still have COVID as something that's hanging on, hanging over your heads is something you're going to have to deal with. And the fact that they put in the new Arsenal rule, right? Now you have to have 4 COVID tests before they even consider canceling a game, right?
Yeah, and injuries will not play a part anymore.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be tough, and I don't think we have players that can play at the level that we want them to right now, right? The ones that we have to depend on, like you're going to ask Saka, you're going to ask Martinelli, and you're going to ask Emil Smith-Rowe and Ødegaard to play at a certain level. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that for 17 games, and they probably shouldn't have to. You should have a deeper squad to actually help them along. And unless Pepe shines, You're not going to get any depth there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not. It's more because they sold and didn't replenish than it is that they actually sold.
So I'm gonna go a little bit, well, not fully on different, but first of all, for my winner, I'm gonna go out on a little bit of a limb here, but I'm gonna pick a team that we were making fun of a lot, and we may continue to make fun of a lot. But as Arsenal fans, we have to put a tiny bit of respect on because they put a spanking on us after we thought we were winning. And that's Everton. Everton sacked their manager. They get rid of Digne, who I think is one of their best players. And then they sacked their manager, Rafa Benitez. Shortly after, during the window, they get Frank Lampard, all right? Not to play in the midfield, or not to play, but to manage them. And we're thinking, okay, this club is, what's going on here? But then if you weren't paying attention, they got Donny van de Beek, right? They got Dele Alli. They also got Anwar El Ghazi from Aston Villa. And if you're not familiar with him, he was a guy that I loved to pick up in the weekly fantasy pick'em matches, because if he played, he was usually good for some shots on goals and possibly some goals. I really enjoy the way that he plays. And all they lost was Digne. And that was, we already knew that coming into it. So as much as we were making fun of them and saying that they're going to be relegated and all that, I think they made some good signings. Once again, you have Frank having to deal with getting some players who might think they're bigger than this club. Dele Alli for one. Donny van de Beek for another. El Ghazi, that's kind of a lateral move from Aston Villa to Everton. But we'll see. But I would just like to put
what I think. Just to say, what I think about when you talk about Dele Alli is, do you remember in Marvel in the Avengers when Loki is like, but you guys have the Hulk, or essentially he makes a comment that you guys have the monsters already here, and they realize it's the Hulk, and all they have to do is get the Hulk to go crazy, and then bang, down goes the big ship in the sky.
Exactly. He's already here. The shit is already here, and that could absolutely happen. And Frank Lampard is kind of the man to do it, unfortunately for them. So I'm going to go to my loser, and as bad as a window as Arsenal had, fuck Tottenham. Tottenham sucks, as we all know. Yes, they got 2 Juventus rejects. They got Rodrigo Betancourt. Yes, he's talented. They got Dejan Kulusevski, who can be all right. But if you look at, they lost Tanguy Ndombele, Giovanni Lo Celso, Dele Alli, amongst other players, and Brian Hill. Brian Hill is a Spaniard who I felt they kept bringing him off the bench, and he was always full of energy and full of life and fucking attacking it, and I felt like he didn't get a good shout there. But the reason Tottenham really lost is because Conte came in and was like, I'm going to take over this club. We're going to give me a bunch of money, and we're going to buy a bunch of people, and I'm going to fix this in the Conte way. And then he realized nobody fucking likes Tottenham. Everyone would rather leave or not go there. They got spurned by a championship player who was like,
I might want to add to all this.
It's a moral victory.
You say that Spurs, they lost all these players, but really it's only Dele Alli that they lost. Everyone else goes out on loan. They'll be getting Heel back. They'll be getting all these players back. None of them. I don't think any of them
never come back.
I don't think there's options to buy on any of them. On Lo Celso or on.
Mark. There's always
I'll agree with you on that Spurs are the big losers, but that's only because much like their management search where they were like, how about you? How about you? How about you? How about you? Shit, everyone's saying no. Nuno, you want to go to the dance with me? Because everyone said no. Nobody wanted each other in that relationship, and the same thing happened in the transfer window. They chased after Traore. We know what happened there, and then the blowback on that was Diaz didn't sign because Conte and Mendes had a little falling out.
Yep.
So then they got to go and chase after second and third and fourth options. That's where I think Spurs lost in the window. They didn't get who they wanted. They had to settle for players.
You've got Conte going, fuck. The whole plan was, I'm going to rehaul this team. I'm going to get rid of dead weight, and I'm going to bring in exactly who we need. And he couldn't. He just couldn't. And it wasn't him. It was the team. And even Matthew Burgess says, Fat Frank. Please, Morton says, the Juve players that I mentioned got ran off the pitch by a chubby kid from Texas. Yes, Weston McKinney, who is bulking up a little bit. Have you noticed?
He is.
He's still, I still like him. But yeah, an American took their job. So, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, you can have him, Todd.
As I was telling somebody also, I think Arsenal they're tapping into the MLS market before the other Premier League teams get in there, because that's why they went and they did their scouting and they came up with Turner and Olsen, I think it is. So when that tap blows and then bang, oil, they're going to be right there.
I don't know, man. Turner and Trusty, that just sounds like a really bad late 80s, early 90s cop flick. It's like Tom Hanks and a dog is Turner and Trusty.
He's like, what, you don't
Turner
trust
and Trusty.
Yeah, I know. I think they are trailblazers, and you're gonna be laughing next, in like whatever 5 to 10 years from now when everybody's running from the MLS to Arsenal, because that's where they go, right? So, yeah.
Arsenal go for the big American dream. They're like, hey, I heard that Matt Stafford guy is pretty good, Mr. Kroenke. Yeah, you want him? He's not doing anything in the summer. You're like, yeah.
That's
anyway,
how
guys,
he's cutting costs. He just shuffles players around. Matt, you're gonna go play for the whatever team. You're gonna come over here.
It definitely saves costs, though. Think about it. As an owner, if you've got players all around the globe that you can just tap from, you're like, you know what? You can go over there. You don't even have to transfer the funds.
Cooper Kupp could be a damn good left back or right back.
There you
go. How to kick the ball.
He would be really good. Yes.
He'd be He runs his ass off.
And then Jalen Ramsey would be the guy. He'd be the the knucklehead, basically, go in there and clean up shop when people mess up, right? Yeah,
he's gonna like, who's Arsenal's new keeper? Aaron fucking Donald. He just covers half the goal already.
Just stands there.
For all of you guys who don't know who we're talking about, watch the Super Bowl coming up. They're our sponsor.
As I said, I hope the NFC loses the Super Bowl. So that's kind of what I hope. Because guess what happens if they don't? You think Arsenal is a second child?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Now, if that team wins, Arsenal will be like Cinderella. That Cinderella story. There will be no God, as I said earlier. There'll be no fairy godmother coming to save the day. Nope.
Absolutely, and that'll be all that's in his mind for another year. Just let them lose and go, oh, who do I have to focus on now? Oh, Arsenal. Okay, maybe I can give them some money. Anyway, guys, it's been a lot of fun talking with you guys. Super long show for a Monday. late night. Big up to all the Stoop crew members over in the UK who were staying up super late.
Yep. Thank you for joining.
All vampires are. We love you guys. Thank you, Gary, for joining us. Mark, good
As
Arsenal
always.
discussion.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thank you,
Fucking bastards.
Lolo, Mark, and John.
Right, Director John as well.
Yes.
Thank you guys. If you haven't already, hit
Everybody
the
in the
like
chat.
button, the subscribe button, the share button, all those good things. And we will see you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock again, where we talk something else. I promise it. Nah, it'll probably be a little bit of Arsenal at least. Mark, you got to save everybody. Good night, everybody.
Hi, everybody.